Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. Can y'all believe this? I'm on early today. Wait a minute, that ought to let you know, that right there ought to let you know that I have improved now that we're about to go into spring. Um, Actually, this week we're back into the spring of deception. And I mean, it's been deceiving too. We've had weather in the 60s. Now, for those of you in the South and in the warmer climates, you probably think that sounds cold, okay? But for us, no, it's not cold. That's summertime for us because we have been dealing with below zero temperatures for most of January. And now we're seeing the sun every day. That alone makes us happy. And, people are coming out of their seasonal affective stuff. I've been out of mine for about a month now, a good month, if not a little bit longer. And we've been having warmer temperatures in the 50s. In a few days, we climbed into the 60s. Then all hell broke loose. Yesterday, it was a beautiful day, just like it is today. I was like, this is just marvelous, okay? Friday was a beautiful day. In fact, I stepped out for a minute without a coat on. It was just that nice. It was just for a second while I was doing a video for my garden channel. But yesterday, beautiful day, I happened to look out because, it's been getting dark at about 6:40, 6:45-ish, that type of thing. And I happened to look out at about 7 o'clock because I wanted to see if perhaps we still had a peak of daylight at 7. I looked and it was snowing profusely. Didn't think no more about it. I'm like, why is it snowing? It wasn't really, I said, well, the temperatures dropped this evening, but, I didn't think it had dropped low enough for it to start snowing. I guess that's good, though, because otherwise it would have been rain. And then that would have frozen over and we would have had a mess. I looked out again at about 11 o'clock last night, and we had at least 4 inches on the ground. I was like, oh, spring of deception got me. So we still have snow. It's today it's melting down. In fact, it's almost gone. It's less than an inch. But when I looked at my little Mr. Snowman earlier today when I got up, it read 4 inches. Now it's reading, I can't even see it from here, but I can look and tell. It's just a dusting. And my sidewalks are just about clear, all that good stuff. So it'll be melted, hopefully by this evening, if not by tomorrow, because the temperatures are supposed to climb. So tomorrow was supposed to hit 45. That's still cold, to us, but still, it's nice. It's supposed to be sunny pretty much all week. And then by, let's see, Wednesday, I have my tax appointment. It's supposed to be 54 on that day. Whoopee, whoopee. So I don't have to worry about ice and snow and stuff going in there because the parking lot is at the back of the building and I have to walk around to the front. Then on Thursday, the day of my doctor's appointment, and believe me, I won't be forgetting my card on Thursday. I'm getting that ice cream. I've been just looking forward to it ever since that huge mistake on MRI day 2 weeks ago. Well, it'll be 2 weeks as of Thursday, but anyway, on that day, it's supposed to hit 65, y'all. 65! Now, that is summer for us, okay? People are going to be out in the shorts and fishing and you name it. You're going to hear the music, all that stuff. It's going to be a celebration on that day. Well, my doctor's appointment is at like 2 p.m., so that still gives me time to enjoy the day. And just getting out, going to the doctor is going to be nice. And then going to the ice cream place, hopefully it won't be packed, because more likely it will, and then on back home. Well, even from there, I saw for the weekend, next weekend, 65 Saturday. I think it says 60 for next Sunday, and that's as far as it went. But we're going into our springish time of the year where we'll still get cold days. We still may get some more snow, but it'll melt off easily. We may get one more snowstorm. I mean, it can throw Michigan. That's how we are. We can get a snowstorm clear up until mid-April, late April. We've had that to happen many a times where we have actually been into spring, where temperatures are in the 70s and everybody's enjoying life. And then all of a sudden we get hit with this Alberta clipper or something from Canada all of a sudden, and we have this massive snowstorm, 12 inches, and it warms up again, but then it takes a while and it just knocks the wind out of your sails, okay? So you're depressed again until that mess finally melts once and for all. So anything can happen. That's all I'm saying. But right now, we're riding a wave as the weather presents itself to be beautiful at this point. Now, okay, preliminaries, okay, continuing on with that. As you all know, I had the MRI, and I don't know if I gave you my diagnosis. Yeah, I did. The formidable or forminal lumbar stenosis. I think I told you guys did I? Wait a minute. I got my results on Wednesday. I came on Wednesday. So yeah, I did give you guys the results. So you know what it is. So I've checked, I've been kind of researching just a little. Like I said before, I don't want to go too in depth with research on it because I would like to speak to my doctor first. But see, he sent me a message Thursday morning. I had a message waiting on me. And so he's explaining the diagnosis because he's not knowing whether or not I've seen the diagnosis or the results. He doesn't know that I have my chart. He should know, but he doesn't, obviously, because he came on, he sent me a message he sent me an email rather to explain the diagnosis. And then he said, fortunately for you, you have a mild case. I sent him a message back real quick telling him, if this is mild, I'll sure hate to feel severe. So, I thought about it later, and I'm going to tell him, okay, I thought about it, doctor. Perhaps it is mild because in my little bit of research that I've done, severe cases could run all the way from the C-spine all the way down. I can't imagine. Okay, I'm talking about, can you imagine? For those of you who told me that you have it too, 3 of you told me that you have the formidable stenosis. It's not forminal or whatever. For those of you who have it, can you imagine if it ran all the way from the top of your spine all the way to your tailbone? I wouldn't be able to function. So with that in mind, I said, okay, perhaps he's correct. In fact, he's the doctor. So basically, for the type that I have, they were saying it's rare that surgery is even needed, which I'm glad about because Q's not trying to go through a back surgery for sure. But it talked about, I saw one video from a physical therapist, and he listed 3 exercises that you could do that will provide relief if it is indeed, the stenosis. And so first of all, 2 of them, one of them you have to hang on a bar and stretch. That's out for me. I couldn't even do that mess in high school when I was healthy, okay? Remember the bar where you had to do that and try to pull up? Shoot, I couldn't even hang on to it. I flopped to that mat every time. Okay, so that's out. The second one was you could either roll a towel or you could get, it's this little rolling thing for exercise, and not the ball, but it's like it's a long log type looking thing, and you have to lay on the floor. That's out, okay? But you would have to lay on the floor, a hard surfaced floor or carpeted floor, and you put it right in the crook of your back, and then you put it down to your tailbone, right at the top, he said, of the opening of your butt. And you roll back and forth on it, and it opens up the nerves, in that area, and it relieves spinal stenosis, the lumbar formidable. So I was like, nope, that's out. So the third one was one I could actually attempt to do. You lay in the bed, and I did it last night. Wait a minute. I did it this morning too, but this morning was successful. Last night, wait a minute. What you do is you lay in the bed, and you put your legs up, and I was like, okay, practice. But anyway, you put your knees up and your legs up as close to your chest as possible, okay? What position is that, y'all? It's been so long. But anyway, you put your legs up and you hold it, hold it up as long as you can. Or you could do one leg at a time if you can't do both. And of course, I went with one leg at a time, okay? So I did the first one. Okay, cool. Okay, and I could feel the pressure relieving. I could tell that it was doing something down there. It did not hurt. It did not, it was perfect and it felt good. And the therapist on the thing had said it would feel good and it did. Okay, so I was like, cool. Okay, this is one I can do. Went to the left leg, did that one. Okay, I'm fine. Okay, so I held that one because he said to hold it at least 30 seconds, and then relax. And he said, do your repetitions, however many you can do. They prefer that you try to do 10 repetitions on each leg or both at the same time, however you can get it done, just as long as you do it. So then I was like, well, let me try both legs because it was so easy doing the first two. I said, I can probably do this. I mean, you've done it before. So I'm like, okay, let me try this both legs. So I did it and I'm holding it there. I was like on the third second, 1,000, 2, 1,000, boom, left leg cramped. Okay, I was like, ooh. That was a nightmare. So that was the end of that little session, okay? So anyway, so this morning I'm like, I'm going to try again. I did not do both legs at the same time. I'll tell you that now. I just went with the one leg, and that's what I will continue to do until I strengthen. So I will speak with my doctor. Well, he's not a physical therapist, so I'm almost certain that he is going to refer me to physical therapy, and that's fine. I'll go. The weather's breaking now. I'll just have to go 2 times a week or however many times because that one little exercise, believe me, I have felt better today than I have in weeks, okay? Then, now, don't get me wrong. I'm noticing today, because I went in there to start dinner, I'm making lemon pepper chicken wings. And that's my first time ever making that. And I've always liked them in the restaurant. I'm making it because I was going to do my barbecue chicken wings and I didn't run completely out of my barbecue sauce that I make up myself, but it wasn't enough in there to coat the chicken wings the way that I would have liked for them to be coated. I like to put extra sauce on it because it bakes down and things like that. And you want to dip it and all that good stuff. And it wasn't going to be enough for that. That's for sure. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try some lemon pepper, wings. So what I did was, and I'll get back to the other subject. I know I just jumped to something totally different. But what I did was I seasoned them with garlic powder, little garlic powder, and of course meat tenderizer. Then I put what else? Oh, yeah, garlic powder, meat tenderizer. Then I floured them with Wandra. I like to use Wandra for certain things like making gravy. It's the pre-sifted flour. You may have heard of Wandra in the blue thing. So instead of using regular flour that would get thick or be thick, I put the Wandra so that it'll just be a small coating on the chicken. Then what I did was I put butter, I cut the butter and put the little pats of butter on each chicken wing. I put like one thin pat on each chicken wing so it had the butter. And then I took my lemon pepper that I just bought and I shook it over the butter so that once it all melts together, it'll be, all melted. And then I took a little of my Watkins butter garlic herb seasoning, which I really like. And I sprinkled a little bit of that on there. And then I took, for good measure, a little of my French tarragon and I sprinkled that over the chicken. So now it's in the oven, baking. And I would assume that it's going to taste good. I would think so. So we shall see in the next couple of hours here or next hour and a half. I like my meat well done and soft. Okay, so yeah, couple of hours more than likely. I'll check it in an hour and a half. And if it's nice and tender, then I'll turn the oven off and just let it be there. And I'll take the foil off so it can brown a little bit. And then I'm going to make, I got some of my summer squash from the garden out the freezer. I'm starting to eat on my freezer stuff from last year. Now that I'm about to get a greenhouse, some of you know I'm getting a true greenhouse this time. I decided to go with that. I wanted a solarium and then the price just I wasn't comfortable with it. I could take out because the plan was to take out equity because my mortgage company sent me a thing telling me I can use, up to $50,000 equity in my home. And I didn't feel comfortable with that. I didn't want, if I was going to go with anything, it would have been no more then maybe 20,000 at the very highest. And I didn't even feel comfortable with that. I was hoping like 10,000. So when I saw the price of solariums, I was like, nope, that's not happening. So I decided to go with the greenhouse. But instead of the cheap things that I've wasted money on 2 occasions because both collapsed, I'm going with the true greenhouse, as true as I can get it. It's a 3-season. It has the polycarbonate, roof and windows and all that. Vented. It's very nicely built by the Amish. Y'all know the Amish. I just love my Amish community, okay? Love it. So anyway, that's where it will come from. It's going to be a pretty penny. It's going to be the one that I think I'm going to get is 6,000. I can get it as cheap as under 3,000 if I don't get the benches and shelves and stuff put into the greenhouse. But I want it the size that I have now. And that one would be, and that's 12 feet long, 12 feet wide, 20 feet long. I loved that size for what I had, the cheap one. So I can go with a nice one at that same size. So it would run me 6,000. So I'll be able to get it financed and get it. And then I could have gone with the 10 by 20 for 1,000, almost 1,000 less than that. I still may go with that one to save some money, but I said, okay, I'm going to just go for the gusto because this is a one and hopefully my final greenhouse purchase. There will be a warranty on it. So that's, I'll just get it and I won't have to worry about it collapsing. A good garden buddy of mine here in my city has one. In fact, she's the one, she was like, Q, you cannot go without a greenhouse, when I told her I won't be having one. So now I have to figure out how to plant outside, fight the animals. She was like, she was like, every time I saw you in that greenhouse, she was like, that was your zen, your happy place. She was like, you got to get a greenhouse. So then she told me about her. She was like, you can get one. And she telling me about the Amish. And so then she sent me pictures of hers. I was supposed to go this week to go see hers because I wanted to see it and walk through it before ordering mine. She has a smaller one. And so she has a 10 by 14. And so I was going to go to her, but then her husband got sick. He's in the hospital, so keep him in your thoughts. And he's having a rough time. He has to have surgery tomorrow. And she's up there pretty much around the clock, other than when she goes to get something to eat and go check on the house. So because of that, I will not be going by to see it. I took her word for it. I've seen pictures of it. I've seen pictures of it on line, all that stuff. So I'm fine with the greenhouse, So anyway, so that's the plan. And so hopefully within the next month or 2, I will have it. It's no rush. Even if I have to do my garden outside this year, I'm taking my time with it. I want to have the monies together, and that homestead credit will almost darn near pay for it, but I need to knock out another bill. So I'm going to just go on and I could either finance it through the greenhouse company, but I think I'm going to finance it through my financial institution because, I know I would be approved. I know how much my loan amount would be, and it would come directly out of my retirement. That's the way I always set it up. And it would just be so much simpler. And the interest rate would be low, very low, because I'm quite sure their finance company is probably going to have a higher interest rate. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So it's going to take a little while. I have to wait on the money. My tax appointment is Wednesday, so it'll be on the way after that. And I don't know how long it's going to take for it to come. I figure maybe 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know how long it's going to take before the money arrives and stuff. And at that point, I will balloon a payment for the greenhouse, get it ordered, it'll be delivered and all, and then the financing will have taken place before all that happens. So I figure it'll be probably June, possibly even July. So when it gets here, then I'm going to take the time to set it up. It's made with total cedar wood. So for anything that's wood in there, I don't know if they polyurethane. That's my next question when I speak with Carrie again, who's coordinated it all. Because I forgot to ask that question when I spoke with her on Friday. But if they don't, I will be doing it myself. Then it's going to need a few days to dry and cure and stuff. Because, see, I don't want that cedar. It's a lighter colored wood, and it's going to get dirty. You know that. It's a greenhouse. But if I can polyurethane to protect it you know, and it won't get as dirty. Or when I wash it, it'll just, you know, I can rinse the dirt. That would be great. And I'll still have my rugs in there and all that. Okay, so let's get off of that because I just ventured off all the way. So where was I? Oh, okay. So I finished the shawl. Okay, so here it is, you guys. And I don't know what I was talking about before then, so I'll just type it. If when I re-listen to the video, whatever train of thought I lost when I ventured off talking about the dinner and the greenhouse and all that, I'll come back to it in the comments because whatever it is I was getting ready to say, I've totally forgotten. Okay, but anyway, here's the shawl, you guys. Now, of course, the She Devils pattern, which is turning out to be my favorite method of making my little shawl. I didn't think I knew I would like the color of it, and I liked the heft of it because I double stranded the yarn, but I didn't think I was going to like it because I said, even though I prefer cotton, you all know that. And so with this being acrylic, I didn't think that I would really fall in love with it. But look at me. I was like, forget safety shawl. Shoot, this thing gonna be worn. Y'all gonna see me in this too much, so much. Y'all gonna get tired of me, okay? But here it is. And so I think it turned out beautiful. And I was only able to get 40 rows. And I was like, uh-oh, I'm not gonna be able to snoot it, which I can. I'm not gonna do it now, but I am able to snoot it. I tested it to see, so it can be snooted. It's just not as snooty as the other one because I was only able to get 40 rows and I had just enough. I had to play yarn chicken again, and this time I won. Whoop! But anyway, I had to play yarn chicken just to get one row of the border, and I was hoping to have it 2 rows bordered, but I was only able to get one. But it worked out. And it still fits. It comes all the way down my back so I'm so glad that I double stranded it because it allowed me to have to go less rows than what I would have needed if I had left it single strand. And so I double stranded it and it's nice and warm. I have my door open today and I'm sitting up here in a tank top pajama set. So, you know, anytime I'm warm, this is really is working. You know, normally I would have the cotton, and I'm not even using my blanket today. So I'm fairly warm. It feels good. Okay, so anyway, so this is it, you guys. Last time. Okay, so yeah, get that. And I said what I may do because the yarn isn't that much. How much was it a ball? For those 4 balls, I spent less than $20, I believe. Yeah, it was. I'm willing to make an investment. I said for some of the trashy shawls, I will probably go back and get, because see, I'm making, for the trashy shawls, I'm not going to double strand it. If I go back and get 4 more, that's less than $20. I know that one ball of the regular, you know, if I'm doing it just regular, one ball will get me a trashy shawl. You know, because those are going to be summer shawls anyway. That's what I make them for. I just like mine thick for winter. And then I pulled out 2 of my summer shawls last night. I put all my winter ones away. All those ones you saw stacked up over here and all that stuff went in the closet where these were. So I pulled these out and I'll be pulling out a few more. This is going to be in the rouster too. So I have this one. I have a burgundy one in there. I just didn't pull them all out. I pulled out my watermelon shawl and I pulled out my kobu shawl right here. And both of these are single strand shawls because they were made specifically for the summer. And I didn't think I had enough to make a shawl had I double stranded the yarn. So anyway, and they're fine. And then y'all know I have that fall shawl in the car. That one, I'll probably bring it in, get it washed because it's been in the car all winter. I'll bring that one in and get it washed. And I can still use that one because of the colors. Okay, so I'm getting ready to start, and I haven't started yet. I actually started another project, but I am getting ready to start the shawls for the family reunion, the trashy shawls. So I figure if I go and get 4 more balls of the gradient, and it'll be I might do 2 in this color And then they had other colors there. They had one with the purple run. I saw the green run there, and teal, and I think I saw like a brown or something like that. So I may get 4 different colors since I know it will only take 1 ball to complete a shawl. And so then remember the yarn that my sister forgot about, the 5, let's see, it's 5 balls of this. A ball and a half, I'm thinking, we'll get a trashy shawl because, you know, I'm going 54 rows with it. So this is 1. I'll get 3, because it's a ball and a half. I'll get 3 trashy shawls out of this. They're just going to look alike. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. I'm going to start with these. And then I'm gonna go back to Walmart and get that gradient, you know, that Lion Brand Mandala gradient. I think that's the name of it. I'm gonna get those 4 balls. That's just $20. That's a $20 investment, and that will give me 7 trashy shawls, and that's all I need because I may not even have time to make them all. I'm gonna try. Well, yes, I will, because y'all know I can whip one of these bad boys, but with the thinner yarn, no, it does take longer. And another thing too, I'm going to be making, in fact, I started it and I went with the single strand. Because it's the Remix Chunky. I have 2 big balls. This one, I have this little ball here. I have another little ball right here. And then I have another even larger ball. And so I was using one of the balls, the larger one actually, to make my aunt. She'll be 90 years old in November. I talked to her the other day, and we hadn't talked since 2022. I saw her, you know, her grandson had graduated high school, and at his open house. That's the last time that I've seen her. And then my other aunt, oh God, I haven't seen her since 2017. She's right in Detroit. And then I have an uncle. They're my only 3, my father's last 3 siblings, and they were the youngest out of 12. And so I called my aunt the other day. I got her number from my cousin. I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to, you know, I've been wanting to call her. So I called her and talked to her. So I thought about it. Well, actually, before I talked to her, I was like, she might would like a shawl. I made her one before, years ago. But I said she might would like a she-devil. I ain't going to tell her a she-devil shawl, but that's what I'm naming it. She may like a she-devil shawl. You know, I said because she lives in assisted living. They play bingo every day. My cousin was telling me all the activities that they do and that she's very involved with the activities, which kind of shocked me because my aunt was like me, a recluse, okay? Very eclectic, very wise. That's, in fact, she and I used to talk all the time. Growing up, she taught me a lot, okay? But now she, you know, she's slowing down, of course. So we couldn't talk like we used to talk. You know, everything was just kind of basic. And we didn't talk that long because I called her at like 8 at night. And I know, you know, bedtime there may be a lot earlier and everything. So we talked a good 15. In fact, I wasn't even trying to talk that long. I was trying to get off the phone because what can you say? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to catch up. You know, after you do your pleasantries, how's the family and all that, it's really not too much. I couldn't just go into an in-depth conversation like I did years ago. We used to talk on the phone for hours or visit for hours, that type of thing. And so anyway, she remembered that I crochet and stuff, and she asked me what was I working on. I told her I was working on a shawl, which is this one right here. And so then we were talking, but I didn't mention to her that I was going to make her one because, you know, you don't want to make promises to people and stuff, and you want to take your time. And so anyway, I had started her shawl, but I ended up frogging it because with this Remix Chunky, although you use a K hook and it is thick, but it's more like I've said before, the Remix Chunky isn't really a 5. It's considered a 5-weight yarn. It's not, but it's a nice, it's a nice texture and a nice thing, but it's not a 5. I think it's a 4. And so I said, I think instead of doing it single strand, because I had started a single strand, and to me, it wasn't too light, but I know that she's, although she'll go outside and whatnot with other residents and my cousin, her son and daughter-in-law, they take her out. She goes to church, she goes to their home for whatever. She goes out. She's not just stuck inside like some of the other residents, who are there who may not have family members to come get them, and things like that. So I know she goes out. So, and she's very small in stature, always have been, all of a size 6, okay? Always have been. So anyway, because of that, I'm quite sure she probably gets cold a lot sooner. So a single strand may not be enough for her. If can I talk? Okay. If I'm going to make it, I want to do it right. So this, I wasn't going to use, because I had the 2 balls, I was just going to use one for her shawl. Why not? I think I'm a double stranded, and I'm a get started with hers right away, because even if I can't get to her facility to present it to her, I can always send it by her son. Okay, so and I'm a surpriser with it. And so I think with it being double strand, she'll be able to withstand when she's playing bingo in the summer. If they have the air on, it gets chilly. I'm quite sure she's probably wearing a sweater. In fact, every time I see a photo of her, she always has a sweater on. So she could start wearing a shawl. I think she would like it. And if she goes out, even if it's the summertime, because of the fiber in this, it will keep her cool in the summer. She won't get overheated with it, yet and still, if she's already cold or cool, it will keep her warm. And that's what I like about this. So, and this is the color I'm going with, because our skin tone is exact. And she's not into wild, well, yes, she is, because I've seen her wear some wild stuff, because she was very eclectic. She dressed eclectically, fashionable, and whatnot. I mean, she was the one, my hero. We went to Value World. When Value World first opened, we used to go all the time. We went to Value World, and Value World had a mink coat there. She was like, that's a full-length mink coat. So she asked the people, how much do you all want for the coat? They were like, well, it's all beat up, it's dry and whatnot. They only wanted $100 for this full-length mink coat. She was like, give it here. She bought it. Okay? I was like, what you buying this thing? I mean, when I say that thing was dry, it looked horrible, okay? She was like, I want you, and this is how she talks, okay? So you have to excuse me, but she was like, Huetta, I want you to see the magic that I will work. That's just how she talks, okay? She would have ran a good finishing school, charm school. Oh, whew, Lord, growing up. Why am I? Wait a minute. I guess y'all like hearing this. Okay, story time. This is a bonus story, okay? My Aunt Ada, okay? But anyway, she corrected your diction. You bet. Oh, my goodness. The way I be talking to y'all, not around her. Oh, no. She corrected your diction. If you said anything out of sentence structure around her, what was the word we couldn't use? Y'all. But not say y'all. What was another one? Ooh, I can't remember all the times I've been corrected. And she would give you the sentence structure. And then, wait a minute, then one time I tried to be fancy thinking that I was doing something. I was like, okay, she'll be impressed with this. So I was talking to her and I said, and unbeknownst to me, she was like, what did you just say? I said, unbeknownst to me. That is not a word. Unbeknownst, just not a word. She argued, we argued. I was like, yes, it is. I know it's a word. And I did. I knew it was a word. And I was like, okay, yeah, we have to see what happens behind this. So finally the argument ended. I let her win. She called me back 3 days later. I checked my thesaurus. I checked my dictionary. And I checked something else. I can't remember what she checked. She said, and you were correct, Huetta. Unbeknownst is a word. And the definition is, I said, I know what it means. So anyway, this is the stuff I went through growing up and beyond, okay? And a lot of my cousins, they avoided her. They were like, no, we're not going around her. Oh, no. I hung with my aunt, and I'm glad that I did, because she taught me a lot. And she was the one, she was one of the reasons, the main reason I got to college. when I was working in that plant, I was always complaining about my job. And even when I worked for the school district, and everything, I I didn't complain about it, but she said, "You do not belong there. That is not where you belong. You need to figure out a way." I think I told y'all about that. She had told me I need to figure out a way to go to college. And when I did, boom, she popped in. She helped me all the way. I think I told y'all about that. Well, this is the same aunt, okay? Okay, let me get off of her. But anyway, yeah, so Aunt Ada, yes. Back to the fur. So she buys this full-length mink fur, and I'm thinking, I hope fleas and stuff don't start flying in the car, on the way home, because I'm driving, okay, my car. And so we get home and stuff. So she calls me back. It was about, I would say, a good 2 months after that, because she bought it. It was in the summertime. And so 2 months later, she called me. It was like in the fall, going into winter. She said, "Huetta, I need you to come by the house. I need to show you something." I didn't know what it was she needed to show me. And I'm thinking, well, maybe she finna give me some money, because every now and then she called me over. I felt led to just give you $50 for whatever. Do whatever you want with it. Okay, thank you. And then I'll visit and everything and then leave and whatever. So anyway, I go over there thinking I didn't know what she wanted to show me or what, it was for. She said, "Remember our trip to Value World back in July?" Yes, I remember. "I want you to see something." So she walks to the back room. She walked real fast. Tip, 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 tip. She had wood floors, so I could hear her. Tip, tip, tip. Then she comes back. Tip, 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 tip. "Here is the fur." I was like, so it was in plastic, or whatever they cover it in. I took it to Dietrich and our Dietrich furs. We have a few furriers, but she used Dietrich furs for her fur cleaning because she had stoles and foxes and you name it. She had all that stuff. So anyway, she took it to Dietrich and they had a furrier, on site, and they cleaned furs. They did the treatment of furs and all this stuff. She took it to Dietrich. She had it to Dietrich, and the furrier, not only they cleaned the fur, that fur looked like a brand new mink coat for $100. And that thing was worth thousands. And this was back in 2012 when she bought that thing. It was absolutely stunning. And then she had her name put in it. They took this, they made a tag with her first and last name, and then they dated it, I guess for the date that they did it or whatever. And they had it, where was the tag? It was, because it was in the lining, perfect coat. And then I was like, okay, Aunt Ada, go ahead. Then she put it on, and just look. "So if you ever find a fur," she told me, "if you ever find a fur and you know that it's real," and she goes, "you blow on it, and if the fur separates, it's real and it's not fake." And so she told me, how to pick a fur. She was like, "Buy it if it's an amount like this." She's like, "Buy it and take it to a furrier and have it treated." I was like, okay, I will. So that was one lesson learned, okay? So anyway, and I'm assuming she still has that fur with her other collection. But yeah, she was just very eclectic. She dressed eclectically, stuff that people didn't even wear. And she would make it look very, very stylish. She liked scarves and different things. So yeah, colors. But I don't think she would like nothing this bright. No way. And she would need it, safety shawl, if something happened or whatever, she could be seen. But I think the color would probably hurt her eyes. So I'm going with the neutral, because this is something that she could put with anything, when wearing it. She could wear it with anything. So this is what she's getting. Okay, so I'm getting ready to start on this. Actually, I want to get this done before I start the trashy shawls. So this is first, then I will start the trashy shawls. But in the meantime, okay, wait, we going long today because I'm not nearly done yet. Okay, in the meantime, and I went straight from preliminaries right into the yarn topic. So hey, story time, preliminaries, and yarn topic. I'm doing it today, huh? Okay. You all know that I just finished, what did I finish with the chunk? Oh, the blanket, okay? Look how much I had left over. Because now this doesn't count because this is specifically for my aunt. Okay, actually I could make her one. I could do a turquoise one with her because, you know, I had that turquoise. I had the turquoise left over, the 2 big balls of that. And here they are. They're not as big as those, but this would make her a nice one. I don't know. She doesn't seem like a turquoise person. I'm going to play it safe because I know she loves neutral. I know that for a fact. She loves earth tones. She like neutrals, browns, and that will be perfect for her. So I'm sticking with that. But look at all the turquoise I had left. Okay, even after doing, you know, my stuff. And I ordered, you know, I already had that turquoise. And then I ordered the 2 balls of blue. And see, although this is, I forget how many yards this is, and these balls are small, and you know they're expensive. Normally, these cost $14.90 a ball. Any other site you go to, the Barocco Remix Chunky, $14.90, if not more. Most of them are like $15. At Little Knits, it's 40% off. So there you have it. So I'm only paying like $9 a ball. Okay, so anyway, I ordered these 2 blue, you know, for the blue part of it. Okay, so I only used half a ball. And I got 3 runs. I ended up, with all of them, I only used half a ball, as you can see. And I got 3 runs with each color for that section. So here I am with yarn left over. I used half a ball with the purple. I don't know what I did with the other half. It's probably in my bag. But I ordered the 5-pack of that. Here we go. I've got 3, 4, 5 and a half balls of the purple. So I was like, I could make a quirky blanket. And I thought about possibly doing a blanket with it. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. So the other day I was like, if I do a blanket, this isn't going to be enough for a full blanket with all these colors. And I was going to do the granny on the straight because I was like, once and for all, I can go on and get the granny on the straight done, and it'll just be a colorful granny on the straight. 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, you know, and then the one I have the most of, which would be the turquoise, I would do, you know, maybe 3 rows or use that as my center row, 2 rows, like that Primavera. It would just be different. So I could use the turquoise as that 1 row where you put that, where she had the white, and then 3 rows of the next, you know, like that, if I do it. And I was like, but I may not have enough. So I took my butt to Little Knits because I had some extra money, which I was supposed to be saving. But I was like, well, I'm getting ready to be broke anyway with this greenhouse business, so I may as well go on and enjoy while I can. I got on Little Knits and I ordered, because you know they're discontinuing the yarn. And I love this yarn. I absolutely love it. Anyway, I ordered, they had the, you know, they didn't have the pink, but they had this color called Rose that just did not match up to that. Okay, and I pray when I see it in person that it doesn't, because I'll be tempted to frog again just to get it in there. But nope, it's enough pink in there. It can stay. But anyway, I ordered 3 balls of the Rose. 1 ball, I wanted 1 of each color because I've had, well, I still didn't do each color, but I ordered the Rose. I ordered 1 ball of the Fern, which is a green color. No, 2 balls. And then I ordered 2 balls of the Harvest Moon, which is an orange. So that's what the colors will be. That is, if I decide to make it into a blanket. And more than likely, I probably will. But in the meantime, okay, and then we'll be ending this. But in the meantime, I had this yarn, and I forgot about the yarn. The yarn had been in my closet, and actually, the only time I used that yarn, I made a bumblebee shawl. And Jen has it, because when she came to visit me last summer, I was like, Jen, I got something for you, because I had been talking about this. Remember I was talking about that yellow bumblebee shawl? I think I talked about it to y'all. And so when Jen got here, I was like, guess what, Jen? You're the bumblebee. Bing! So she has the shawl. And it looked really nice on her and she likes it. It really came out cute. But anyway, hold on just a second, y'all. I need to go check this chicken real quick. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. All right. But anyway, yeah, I had been talking about that bumblebee shawl and Jen ended up being the bumblebee. Okay, so she has the shawl. And it's made just like this. It's the she-devil shawl. But anyway, I had forgotten about that yarn. After I made that bumblebee shawl, it is by Lang Secure. And I ordered it off Little Knits last winter when I first went on my little fiber journey and didn't know what I was getting. And it was a Pima cotton, which is a nice fiber. Pima cotton is very expensive. In fact, they had the mystery bundles. They were discontinuing that Pima cotton, and they had the mystery bundles on clearance for like 90% off, something like that. All I know is that the yarn normally costs like $18 a ball. And I got it like dirt cheap, okay? Dirt cheap. So I ended up ordering like the mystery bundle, and then I ordered like the half mystery bundle. And I got it real cheap. I don't think I paid, I can't even tell you what I paid, so I ain't even gonna try to even guesstimate. But anyway, I didn't like the yarn because it was mystery. And remember, I got that Noro too. Remember that paper Noro, what was it called? Noro something. I forgot, but it was the yarn made out of paper. And I made those, and I ended up making those market bags with them. I love that. So, and those were mystery colors. I didn't know what I was getting, but they ended up sending me black and they sent me lime green. And I made a black bag and a lime green bag. Y'all remember that? And I made it out of the diamond mesh because that's all it was enough to do with that yarn. But anyway, I ordered that at the same time that I ordered this Pima cotton. So then when I read up on Pima cotton, I had never heard of it. It's just a real soft cotton. And it's kind of, it looks brushed. It has a beautiful look to it. But the colors they sent me were jacked up, y'all. I could not stand none of the colors. They did send a little pink. And I ended up making a shawl with that. And I believe I gave that shawl to my niece because I can't find it. But I made a shawl with that. But anyway, I made that shawl because they only sent like 3 balls of it. And a little of it went a long way. And then I made with the yellow. I had a little yellow left over. But the yellow, I made that shawl. And I gave it to Jen, the bumblebee shawl. I could not stand none of the colors. None of them. None of them. And I was like, the only one I halfway liked was the pink. Anyway, I took that yarn and I just totally kind of messed it up. I said, first of all, I'm a double stranded. I said, because anything I made with it had to be double strand because it was so light and airy. It would not have had the heft of this. It was just lighter, even lighter than this. But it's a beautiful yarn. Pima cotton is beautiful. So anyway, I doubled the yarn and I put these colors together. The ones I had the most color of, I put with the other one I had the most color of, and I did not like how I was like, I wasted my money. Thank God it was 90% off. But then I had forgotten about it after I had made the bumblebee shawl. It's been in my closet in the bag. I remembered it because when I made the Little Knits order the other day, I was looking at my past orders and that was on. I was like, I forgot about that darn Pima cotton mystery bundle. And so I went to the closet last night and got it out. I was like, let me study this darn yarn and see if it's something I can do with it while I'm waiting on this Little Knits order and, while I'm working on my aunt's because, that's not going to take but a minute, with these trashy shawls. So I looked at it. I studied it. I said, bingo, I know what I can do. I'm going to just put it together any old kind of way. I'll set it up the best way that I can. And I'm just going to make a granny stitch blanket since I don't have one. Now, although I'm thinking of making the granny on the straight with that, but just a regular granny square blanket. Let me tell y'all, I have named this. I'm working on it. I'm getting ready to show it to you. I have named this blanket the So Ugly That Is Cute blanket. It's ugly. I do not like the yarn, but it's actually, I think it's cute. So I know what y'all thinking, but this is what it's called. The So Ugly That Is Cute blanket. So this is what it looks like thus far. So I'm just putting it together. I'm just running it together. It almost has a southwest, almost a southwestern look. And I'm heading towards, I think I'm on row 19. I might be beyond that. I think I'm at row 20. Wait, let me count it. Shoot. Let's see. 1, 2, okay, this is 10 rows. 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm on row 15. Or I just started row 16. But this is how it's looking thus far. Now let me show you the rest of the colors. And it should get big, okay? Because it's growing now and I haven't used that much. So I still have, what I'm doing is I did 10 rows to start it off. Then I had, let me show you. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to arrange it. Okay, I started 10 rows with this. Oh, I found some pink. So yeah, I did make something with the pink. So this is going to go in there since I found it. But I'm looking for my solid. Oh, I know where I put it. Right here. I thought I put it in here. Maybe not. What did I do with it? Just know, I don't know what I did with, oh, wait, did I put it in here? Nope. I don't know what I did with it, you guys, but it's somewhere on this couch. But anyway, as you can see, the solid green, that was a solid color. And I had more of that. And so I put it together in this, I wrapped it with this, it's like a light green. And so what I did was, this is how I mixed it. And it looks horrible. Okay, then I had a ball of the solid left, which is what I'm looking for. Okay, I'll find it. So after I did my 10 rows, I did a row of the solid green to match it up. And then I did a row of this light green. It's like a mint green. They sent me some of that. And then I mixed the mint green with like this bluish purple color. So I did a solid row of the light green and the dark green. Then, because that same light green is mixed with the purple, purple mix, I went with the purple mix of the green to go with that light green. And then I'm doing 5 rows of that. And then I will do another row of the light green because I have quite a bit of it. This is going to come in at the end. I'm going to end the blanket just how it began. So I'm going to end it. And this should be enough to get around the blanket with either a border or another row or something like that before I end it all together. And then here's that green. You know, so I still have quite a bit of this solid green. So I'm going to be running that with a lot. Because the rest of the bumblebee yarn I have, and I still have this, some more of this. So I'll be doing another few rows with this and the green. Then the bumblebee yarn is even mixed with the, yeah, it's mixed with the, okay, I'm making sure it's the green and not the purple. Yep, the bumblebee yarn is mixed with the green. So after I run the bumblebee yarn through it, because it's going to get the yellow. I should have made that second, but it's just going to go where I put it, okay? Because like I said, it's so ugly that it's cute. So this will get ran, and then I'll do the row of green, of the green solid, and then I have a solid row of purple also. So when I do that row of green after the purple, I'm going to do the solid row. Or, you know what, I may leave the green out because that's at the beginning of the purple. So I may end the purple. When I get to finish row 5, I'll just run a row of the purple with it. And then when I get back to this, then I'll have more purple to use. Because this one will get a second run. Then we have, last but not least, the most hideous of all. And this one has the green in it as well. Oh, I found some of the solid. Yeah, that's some of the solid green. This is the most hideous of them all. This one. Okay, and it has the green in it. I had more green than anything. I probably could have gotten a green blanket had I not done what I did. And see how it's staticky because it's like a brushed yarn? because it was sitting in the bag. And then I have this. So this is going to be another color run. So it's just going to be so ugly that it's cute. Okay? So this is the blanket. But I want y'all to look at the stitch, let me leave this out because I'm going to work on that a little bit. And then get started later this evening. I'll get started with my aunt's shawl. Because if I start on her shawl this evening while I'm watching TV, I will have that bad boy done by tomorrow or Tuesday. Then I can show it to you guys on Wednesday. But this is just, this is no rush on this because once that Barocco, I want to get these trashy shawls knocked out. So this will be continued, okay? To be continued, probably sometime during the spring. But right now, I was just working on it while I was deciding what's next and deciding what yarns I'm going to use for the trashy shawls for the family reunion. Now that that's all set, I will be starting the trashy shawls. I'm going to do my aunts first, start the trashy shawls, get back to Walmart sometime next week, and get the yarn for the rest of the trashy shawls, and then I will be running those. And once those are done, then I will be free to start. But if you look at the yarn here, look how it has like a silky look. And yeah, I've got ends to weave in, but it has like a silky, it's a beautiful look to the yarn, and it's real soft and being chunky. Oh my God. This is probably going to end up being my favorite, okay? The ugly snuggly, or the so ugly that is cute blanket. It's probably going, and this is going to be my summertime blanket. This will be used for travel if I'm going somewhere, because it has the holes in it. You know, I need the air holes. It's probably going to be warm, but right now it's not feeling that warm, but it'll be perfect for the summer. So it's going to be a nice little lap blankie. I can use it, you know, when traveling, that type of thing. But I just love how the stitching, not the stitching, but how the yarn itself looks. You know, although it's staticky and whatnot, but even still, I like how it looks. And it's so soft. I mean, it's a little squishy. I could have done something else with it, maybe a sweater or something, you know, Pima cotton, you know, for something like that. But nope, because I messed the yarn up, I'm going to turn it into something, as my aunt says, I'm going to work my magic. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, that's all I can say. Stay tuned. All right, y'all, I've been on here at 57 minutes, so it's time to get off. So y'all got an hour today of me yip-yapping. My other safety shawl, the orange one, is sitting there in the chair across the room. It's going to the car on tomorrow. I'm going to put it in a bag, and it'll be in the car as of tomorrow, and that's where it will remain. This one, I don't know. I don't know. I might have to make another colorful safety shawl because I like this one. Okay. I just love this one. I want this one for the house. Okay. I wish I could find something like this, and I probably could, you know, but see, I'm not going to Michael's. And so that's that. I'm boycotting them. Well, I am going to take that trip. And you know what? I should be doing that right about now because we're going into the better weather. Before it gets too warm, I need to hit the Michaels and Troy and Rochester. Oh, I'm still going to do that. But the one around me, I'm not setting foot back in there, okay? But anyway, nevertheless, I like this. But I could probably find something in cotton, you know, with these type of colors or whatever. Even that hipster cotton, you know, that would work. Although they don't have the bright neon, you know, type color. Yep, but I'm going to start looking online for like a neon bright cotton or even any other fiber other than acrylic. And I'll go with that for the safety shawl. Okay, y'all. Well, I got y'all to 59 minutes. I'm trying to get to an hour. So anyway, oh, and I found my raffle tickets for the trashy shawl. I always raffle them. And so it took me a week to find these. I finally found them. And where were they? They were in a spot that I never even thought they'd be, in a bucket or something. I can't remember. But anyway, here they are. So these are the raffle tickets that I always use for my cousins. I make it simple. I give them 2 raffle tickets. They have the same number. I keep one and I give them the other. And then I put the raffle tickets in a bag, and I always let one of the children uh, draw the name, and everything. And I mix it around and everything. And then the child reaches in and pulls out the number. And then whoever wins, wins. So it's just really fun. So I've already got this out so that when it's time, for the to pack and everything, I won't forget the raffle tickets, okay? Okay, so we're at an hour, so that's it. Goodbye. May God bless you all. I will see you on Wednesday. Oh, you know what? How about I come on Thursday? Because then that way I can tell you about the doctor's report, and you don't have to work. You don't have to wait until Saturday, unless if you don't mind waiting until Sunday, next Sunday, to hear what my doctor had to say. That's fine too. So let me know. Would you rather I wait until Thursday to come on, or if you would rather I come on Wednesday? And that's fine. But you'll get the doctor's report on Sunday, next Sunday. Okay, talk to you later, and may God bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.